Not sure if I'm live yet or not. Looks like I am. This will eventually be a more regular occurrence, but I'm gonna slowly get acclimated to this process, and I'll tweak things over time, and yeah, eventually we'll get this thing rolling. We'll get this thing rolling. All right. So, forgive me if you're watching this and there's like some dead air. Um, just bear with me. All right. All right. All right. So let me go get my old laptop and I'm gonna open up and see what the stream looks like. Alrighty. All right, so I got potentially, all right, like I said, some dead air, maybe some little bit of a confusion, but I'll figure this out. I'll figure this out. Better late than never, right? I used to live stream, but it was a limited. It was a limited YouNow broadcast. This will be a little bit better, hopefully. All right. How the heck? All right, let me see if I can get this pulled up on the other one. There's been some interesting things going on lately around these parts, let me tell you. Let me tell you. All right. All right, maybe this is the time I want to edit. All right, this is good. That's good. Got my chat over here. Well, anyway, I'll probably have to do this a few times. Figure it out. Once I get my ducks in a row, then yeah, then I'll be more streamlined, huh? But that was a month ago. Oh my god. Says I have 2. Okay, good. So my little ticker is going up. So I'm streaming. Obviously there is a stream going out there. So hello. I am trying to figure out how to get my chat going. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Testing. Oh, testing. Oh yeah, okay. Test working so far on the sound. Taco about. All right, cool, man. All right, yeah, I can see it on my little screen here. Disable the previous stream count. All right, cool. So far, so good. What's up, Ray? Ramyozi? Ramyozi? What's up? All right. Ready. What's Shawn doing? He just figuring things out. He's just kind of hanging out right now. Sound is clear. Audio is good, but it looks like half of. Yes, half of screen. Right. Yeah. Okay. So audio. The audio is good. That's cool. I'm eventually gonna get a better microphone, so audio will be a little bit better than it is now. That's cool. All right. So it looks like half a screen. Yeah, so I'm trying to get my old computer to work, so I can kind of see what it looks like. That way I can see what you're talking about with this half screen. Because I do have some options to adjust how it looks. The problem is I don't have experience adjusting it to get it to so that I can know what it's going to look like for you guys. So, but yeah, like I said, this is just we're not in the testing phase as much anymore. We're actually kind of get going a little bit on this, but yeah, it'll get better. It'll get better once I get used to this. But I do look forward to connecting more with you guys. All right, almost there. So I don't know if you guys are basketball fans, but the Golden State Warriors, who are the big-time favorites in the NBA, they lost in Game 1 of the finals. I'm a Lakers fan. I lived in California for a while. All right, so I'm on I can see my feed. It says live. That's cool. All right, I'm going to go in. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So that half screen that's blank, that's going to be your browser does not currently recognize any of the formats available. My computer's, the other computer's too old. It won't even pull it up. Oh, my goodness. Let me try in Chrome. Oh boy. But yeah, so I did see a little preview over there, and it looks like you just got you got a chat box and a half. Hold on a second, so I can kind of center myself. I might be able to adjust how big my window is here. Get a little bigger like that. Yeah, okay. All right. So this is pretty good. I'm gonna still try to get my old computer to be able to figure this out, but I see now the other half is yeah. So the one half of the screen is my camera image video recording. The other half is going to be your chat box, plus a little snowman. All right, I'm going to accept and install Google Chrome on my old computer. I had to reset it because it was crap in the bucket. But yeah, so yeah, some changes, some reality shifts, some Mandela effects, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, it's been going on. Just my own the computer that I'm using now to broadcast the computer that I'm currently broadcasting from. I've had this computer for, let me think for a second here, 6 months. Not a whole long time, but 6 months. That's like my phone. My laptop is like, for a lot of you out there, your phone. My laptop is my phone. Yeah, I have a phone, but my laptop. If I'm looking on Facebook, I'm on my laptop. If I'm searching the web, I'm on my laptop. That's my phone, so I'm used to it. Carry it around all the time. Yesterday, all of a sudden, it had these two rubber strips. These you know how you have like the little rubber feet? There's 4 of them on the 4 corners of like something. Well, there's a rubber strip on the front and the back. The bottom of my computer, which I'm about to show you, rubber strip. Here. Just a little thing. My damn computer did not have those strips on them. I actually thought that maybe that my roommate might have like glued them on to be helpful or to mess with me. No. those are part of the computer. It felt so weird. It was like, what? It's just a little thing, but for me, that was like, what the hell, man? It was just. I was feeling a little lightheaded. When I have a strong reality shift, I love it. I enjoy it. I have some understanding about it, and it's a really good thing. And some people are fearful that it's a bad thing. It's a really good thing. But anyway, boom, it's like, wow, I've had this computer, I've used it every day pretty much for half a year, and I never felt those things on the bottom of it. Creepy, man. I put it on my counter. It doesn't slide now. It's like an upgraded version. Upgraded slightly. But anyway. That was a shift for me, man. That was weird. And then another thing is the term making amends. My education and experience and knowledge has led me to understand if somebody's going to make amends, what that means. But it's nothing I ever hear. Almost ever. I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with prestidigitation. I'm familiar with that word. I never hear it. I heard it once, like 20 years ago, and it's magic with the hands. But I never hear it. So yeah, making amends. I watch, there's a TV show. I love it. It's called The 100. It's really good. If you like Walking Dead, you'll like 100. All right? any of your main characters could like be killed off at any episode. 100 is awesome. For some, you might not like it, but I think it's pretty badass. And they were talking. They were talking about making amends. Oh, he's gonna make amends. He's gonna make amends. They're on another planet that this is happening on. I just thought it was like a quirky thing based on their culture or whatever. A day later, I'm watching the sitcom Mom, the show Mom. Really, really good. I enjoy it. You might like it. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, they're making amends. We're making amends. Oh, wait, he's gonna make amends." See, it wasn't the vocabulary. It wasn't those words that sounded. Wow, I have. Anyway, sorry. I digress. It wasn't the words. It was the fact that people seemed to easily understand what that was all about. It was like normal. Oh, hold on, everybody quiet. Somebody's going to make amends to somebody else. Like, that's just part of our culture. Well, anyway, that's totally different from anything I've ever experienced when it comes to make amends. So, anyway, it was like back to back. I'm like, what the hell? This is cool. Other stuff's going on too, but that was just two random things. Alrighty. So yeah, so if I can see alright, so let me see. I'm gonna eventually. My camera's decent. I'm eventually gonna get a microphone. That's true. That's that'll be important. Now I know that. So like, on the West Coast, it's like work hours right now. It's Friday at 2 something. On the East Coast, it's barely after 5 on a Friday. So yeah, you're all either working or you're going out having fun. So yeah, probably Friday around dinner time is not the best time to stream to get to connect with people. But hey, no, I'm it's awesome. I'm glad you guys are here. But I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to like figure out. I work a lot and I just Friday around this time, that's like my free time, so to speak. So that's why I'm here. Alrighty. But I hope everyone's doing well, and it's the world is a wonderful place, and some people don't have that experience, but you can have that experience. No credits. I'm just playing with some of these options. All right. I guess Illinois today has made marijuana legal. So that'll make the 11th state in the United States to have recreational legal. I believe Illinois will be the first state to fully go legal with just the Congress, not people voting. So that's kind of interesting on Illinois' part. All right, I got Google Chrome up, so let me see if my old computer will show me what my stream looks like. Driving home West Coast. Yeah, right? Yeah. About 2:30 West Coast. I lived in California when I was a kid for about 3 years. Southern California, Orange County. I enjoyed it. The weather was amazing. I was a kid, so I didn't have to drive. I'm thinking that what the hell? Sorry, I'm looking at something else. That yeah, if I went back there, driving would be pretty tough. A lot of traffic. But the weather, man, the weather was so awesome. All right, yeah, I can see what it looks like. All right, so I'm not blown away by how it looks. I can actually see the stream now on another computer. it's okay. But yeah, I might have to figure out a different format because I mean it's okay. We're just starting. It's okay. But yeah, if you have any questions or if you want to get into any kind of specific topics, or if I have some experience to draw upon, I would be glad to share. Alrighty. All right. All right. So let me talk about the human perception, the five physical senses of human perception. You have your ability to see, your ability to hear, your ability to smell, your ability to touch and feel, and your ability to taste. Right? You have your five physical senses. Now your brain is giving your... let me figure this part out here. I'm going to be careful of my words here. I want to be clear, not confusing. So your brain is inside your skull. Your brain is contained within your skull. It's pitch black, right? It's dark. It's quiet and it's dark in there. Your brain doesn't get to see what light it looks like unless you've had a very, very, very unfortunate situation. And then if your brain's seeing the direct light, that means you got a big injury. So your brain doesn't get to see things, right? Your eyes don't see things either. Your eyes are a tool. They are an instrument. They are a device. Your eyes work to take these signals, these electrical signals, these vibrations, these frequencies. Light photons bounce off of objects, and then the photon goes into the eye, and the eye registers it, interprets it it takes the information, it takes the raw data. So your eyes are taking in raw data. We're not seeing anything. We're taking in these data points based on the photons of light and what information is being shared through the photons. So your brain gets the raw data, right? Your brain then needs to put the proverbial pieces together to try and make sense of what the data is showing or what the data is explaining, okay? So your eyes take in the data, the raw data, the beams of the photon light waves, the light beams. And your brain then tries to put the picture, pun intended, put the picture together. That's what you see in your mind. Your brain's your brain's interpretation or understanding. I tried to say understanding and interpretation at the same time twice in a row, and that's why anyway. So yes, your brain is interpreting. It's making its best guess. Your brain is making its best guess on what's in the outside world. This outside world that we live in, we don't really know what things look like. We don't really know what things look like. Your brain guesses what it looks like because your brain doesn't see it. Your eyes don't see it. Your eyes are a tool. Your eyes now it feels like your eyes see things, and there's this amazing high definition, colorful, if you have sight, colorful, beautiful, diverse, complex environment. But that's your brain's interpretation. That's your brain's guess. Your brain doesn't know for sure what the color red looks like. Why do you think all right, so this is a perfect example. You can use visual or audio. They both have the same flavor when it comes to this. But when you're talking visual, there was the dress, there was the pink. There was the blue and gold dress. People saw two different dresses, right? That was a big thing. People saw two shades. Other people saw two different shades. Literally, half the humans in the world were seeing one color scheme on the same picture. Half the humans in the world are seeing a totally different color scheme on the same picture. That picture is the raw data. People's brains are going to make an educated best guess on what it is that the data is showing. And then people's brains, because for whatever reason, that dress, they could go either way, that dress, the color, for whatever reason, the frequencies of light of those colors, that picture, that it was so close it could go either way, so it confused the hell out of people's brains. And half the people saw two different colors, and the other half saw the other two colors. Because we don't know what things look like. Nobody knows what human being level. You move past this, you go into those higher dimensions, you get an insight into things that would be unbelievable, like mind-blowing. And that's an understatement. But anyway, human minds. So we don't know what things look like. We guess. We don't guess. Our brain guesses. And then the consciousness that inhabits these bodies, then gets the luxury of seeing what the brain has interpreted. So the brain does the hard work, and then you see the brain's best guess on what's out there. Because the brain inside doesn't get to see shit. It's amazing and profound, the brain, but it doesn't know what things look like. It relies on the organs, like the eyeballs, and the structure, the parts of the eyes that make sight possible. It relies on that for raw data. What's up, Snammer? Snammer 4. Abraham Lifton, 5/18/19. What's up with that date? I'm not sure. Is that showing up on my stream? Because I was testing out a couple times, and that date might still be there. 5/18/19. I'm not sure what that date represents. All right. So yeah. So and then there's the sound, right? The sound, you're hearing things, right? But we don't hear things. Our brain takes these vibrations, our eardrums, the inner ear, it vibrates in a certain way based on the sound waves, and then your brain analyzes, interprets, and tells your consciousness what physical sounds are like. So, but that doesn't make sense. A lot of people hear things. There's just noises. There's sounds. Everyone hears it the same. No, everyone doesn't hear it the same. And that's not true. It's not accurate that everyone hears it the same. Everyone doesn't hear things the same. Well, yeah, there's noise and interference. Yanni, Laurel, right? Laurel, Yanni. They don't sound the same, but yet you can play this recording and you'll have literally millions of people hearing Yanni, millions of people hearing Laurel. It's the same damn sound. And it's not like two sounds that are so similar, it could go easily either way, right? Like an old school Mandela effect, when this shit was going. I mean, in 2015 summer, that's when I got hit. I was like kind of in the early batch, and then a whole crap ton of people a year later, summer of 2016, boom. But in 2015, early on, Mandela effect started coming around. My cat wants to come in. And in about 2 minutes, I'm going to go use the restroom and let my cat in, and I'll be right back. But yes, so Yanni, Laurel, they don't sound the same, but yet all these people are hearing it two different ways. It's the same audio recording. Oh, Sean's getting ahead of himself. So Mandela effect. So interview with a vampire, pronounced interview with a vampire, interview with the vampire. You say it fast, it sounds very similar. But the Yanni Laurel is not like that. But yet millions of people hear Yanni and millions more hear Laurel. And then other people can hear it back and forth depending on their focus. Again, that's because the brain doesn't know what anything sounds like. Your ears and the inner workings of your inner ear take in the raw data of the sound waves, and then your brain makes its best guess. And that's what you're consciously become aware of as you're hearing. It happens so fast that it's like in real time. It doesn't sound like there's like processing going on, but anything you hear, it's processed through the brain. So that's how different people can hear Yanni, or different people can hear Laurel from the same recording, because your brain is guessing what the hell it's hearing. Your brain doesn't know. We don't know what's on the outside world. Our brains guess. They're good at guessing, but they are not perfect at it. All right, guys, bear with me. I'll be back in like 1 minute. 1 minute. Allie, are you out here? I don't see her. All right, sorry about that. I would be honored if you would join my Facebook group, Reality Residue Hunter. Hey, that's cool, Teresa. Yeah, let me look into that, okay? Ask you what the title. Oh, I have a title that's talking about that date. Oh my goodness, how embarrassing! Shawn Indigo live stream 518. I changed it to 531. Well, anyway. It's it's supposed to be 531.19. 1,500 members in that group. That's cool. I'm a residue hunter. Yeah, residue. That's cool. I'm gonna be. I haven't really done a lot of residue stuff. I come from Brian McFarlane's channel. Oh, that's cool, Teresa. I have a lot of my famous YouTubers in my group now. Where you go? Okay, cool. Yeah, Teresa. That's cool. This this should be saved and available, and I'll be able to hunt you down. No pun intended. Cool. All right. So yeah, the brain does not know what is out in the world. It doesn't. We guess. We just guess. So we really don't know what green is. We don't know what purple is. How could you possibly know, unless you could do some Vulcan mind meld, how could you possibly know what another person truly sees when they see a color, like green or purple or blue or red or orange, yellow? How do you know what they see? You don't. Your green might be different than their green. There's no way to really double check that. Whatever green is for you, that's what you're used to. That doesn't mean that they're seeing the same color. I used to hear about people having these psychedelic experiences or out of body experiences and seeing colors that they didn't know existed, and they have no frame of reference, and then they can't explain what the color looks like because there's no frame of reference. And that was like, I want so bad to know what a different color looks like that's out of this realm. Oh my God, that would be so cool to see. We just can't. We can't imagine it. But yeah, so with residue, I haven't done a lot of residue stuff. When I first was going over Mandela effect stuff early on, so like 2015 to 2016, focusing on examples was important because a lot of people weren't aware of what was going on with the different examples. But my main kind of focus has been on how is it possible that this is happening? Why is this happening? What does it mean? Is this good or bad? So that was kind of my main focus the last few years. Well, since last 4 years since I started. But yeah, so when it comes to residue, fascinating, but it's not something I have spent a lot of time hunting down, even though I know it's out there. I know it's out there. But one of the most profound Mandela effects for me, personally, it's a minor one, I guess, but objects in mirror may appear closer. That hits me so hard because I have so many anchor memories of trying to figure out what the hell that meant, and looking back and looking at the mirror and looking back at the car, looking at the mirror over and over and over, all these different times, all these different trips, trying to figure out what the suggestion of maybe is. Is it not, is it further, is it closer? So yeah, and there's tons of residue on that. So eventually I'm going to do this big video, and I'm going to cover a lot of the residue on that, because that one hits me hard, man. I will get you in right. Cool, Teresa. Appreciate it. Awesome. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well today. It's almost June, right? We're almost hitting June. It's gonna be summertime. For some of you, it probably feels like summer already. Alrighty. Alright, so have you watched residue change in real time? Ooh. No. Teresa, I'm curious. So watching residue change in real time, I've had a few flip-flops. So that has the flavor of seeing something change like that. The flip-flops, I haven't. People were getting flip-flops. I was not for a little while, and eventually, maybe a year and a half after, all of a sudden, I got a few of them myself. I'm like, damn, flip-flops are very, very interesting, no doubt. Recently I was gonna post a video about something from Lord of the Rings. It was a big, semi-big Mandela effect for a while, and then eventually I realized, I didn't really talk about that, and I had a connection to it, so I was gonna mention something. And what I'm very careful to kind of make sure, I got my ducks in a row. So I wanted to double check the Lord of the Rings. To make sure that was still current, and the Mandela effect that I remembered was gone. Like the line that I remembered that had changed went back to the normal one. The line never changed. It's exactly what I remembered. It wasn't a Mandela effect at all. But yet a year ago there was all these people talking about it, and now there's all of a sudden it's not a Mandela effect. So that was interesting. Flip flops are very interesting. No, I've definitely not seen residual change in real time. Residue, no. That's cool, Teresa. So yeah, your vibe is probably continuing to go up because the Earth itself, the physical reality itself, the vibration, the frequency, it's getting faster and faster. So humans are it's triggering it's partly triggering this evolution or ascension of all life that you might call physical. And as your vibration goes up, you're going to start to gain abilities. You're going to start to be able to perceive things that were normally not perceivable. So yeah, seeing these letters change before your eyes, that's something that I'm sure does happen, and it doesn't happen to a lot of people, but over time, more people are going to be exposed to those situations. What I've seen is more, when it comes to cool stuff seen visually, it would be like ghosts and stuff. And my friends who have part alien DNA, and they're showing me like a superimposed green image of their alien face over their human face. And right before they did that, they said, "Hey, you want to see what I really look like?" Yeah. Holy shit. But yeah, no. Synchronicities are fierce. Synchronicities, oh my god, it's layer after layer, and the more excitement, the more joy you can feel, the more love and let's say happiness you can feel inside. That's going to make those synchronicities come more readily. Oh yeah, synchronicities are all over the place. Yeah, synchronicities are cool. I love it. I love that. Can someone explain death, because that's my worst fear? What's your thoughts on heaven and hell? All right, Cinnamore 4. There is no hell, not the one that you've probably been told about. Basically, now I'm just gonna simplify it so that it's just quicker and easier to get. Everyone goes to heaven unless you specifically want to go to something similar to this fire burning pits of hell. You can go to that on purpose. It's almost like an internet chat room. So let's, and again, this is a simplified version, but the afterlife, it's like the internet and all the different websites. There's countless websites. There's not an infinite amount of websites like there is an infinite amount of realities, but there's so many websites you can spend your whole life going through them, right? So all these different websites, all these different web pages, those are like locations in the afterlife, and you can go there. Just you think it, boom, you're there. So if you want to go to a nasty, horrible website that shows people being killed, you could go there, probably on the dark web. So yeah. So everyone gets to go to heaven. There is no freaking hell. Death, easier than birth. You can ask any human that has lived a lifetime and then has gone back to where they came from in the higher realms. What's the most traumatic experience you had living a physical, biological human life form? Being born. That's the consensus. That's the poll. That's the majority. Being born, not dying. Most souls who live through physical lifetimes will tell you that being born is the more traumatic experience, not dying. All right, what do you want to know what it's like to die? After physical death has occurred, you're going to experience waking up from a dream. Waking up from a vivid dream, and now you're back to normal life. And you'll be a little amazed at how real the dream was. You're 80 years as a lifetime human on Earth. And you're going to wake up from a dream, and you're going to get back to your normal life. That's what dying is like. Don't let them trick you into believing that if you don't do this, you get burned in hell. It's bullshit. It's designed to scare you. It's designed to control what you believe. It's designed to put the people down. I'm not talking smack about religion. I'm saying hell is fucking bullshit. That's what I'm saying. So that's my take on death. Skechers? Yeah. I woke up in 1998. 1998. 3 days, man. I had 3 days of, like, my brain was all... I've been like this since then. I've changed and grown and gained wisdom and maturity, but pretty much, and when I awakened in 98, 21 years later, this is very similar. This Shawn is very similar to that Shawn. The prior Shawn was very analytical, very logical, not emotional, didn't know what feelings were. All right, that's cool, Teresa. Awesome. December? Yeah, man. 2016, I mean, the energy was just ramping up. And it's funny, too, man. Back in the late 90s, and then, like, early 2000, like, oh, man, there was nobody I could talk to about human ascension and all this stuff, man. I mean, I could meet 200 people, not one would have any reference point at all about the stuff that I knew about. 20 years later, man, boom! All kinds of people know about this stuff. And the reason I even came on YouTube to begin with was once Mandela Effect happened. I knew it was going to happen. I was told about it. I was explained about it. Not in detail. Not the nitty-gritty details. But I was told about the reality shifts coming. And when your reality's going to be different. And you're going to, literally a tree might be in a different location in the yard. And you wake up the next day and you're in a different world. And it's coming eventually. I didn't know when it was going to hit. And the Berenstein Bears changed. And I was like, oh my God. And then the map changes. And I was like, boom, I gotta start sharing what I know because holy shit, this is for real. Yeah, tons of people in 2016. Yeah, it's that energy. So like I attribute it to like let's say the human ascension and the awakening process. It's like a pot of water. You heat the water up. Eventually it starts boiling. It's got to simmer first and then eventually boils. So when the water's boiling, that means that's an analogy that the conditions on the earth are such that humans are going to be just pushed to ascend. Once that water's boiling, the energy, either you vaporize because you can't handle the positive, the love flow, the high vibe love energy. You can't handle it because it's just too much darkness. and your body, your physical vessel can't handle the energy, and you're gone. It's just like if there was let's say there was a frying pan on the stove and it was on for 2 hours and it's like freaking 300 degrees, and you put a little drop of water. That drop of water represents the human with the dark energy. Dissolve, right? Just boom, instantly it turns vaporized. But for most of us, human ascension. So, but the water isn't boiling yet. It's heating up, and it's getting close to boiling. So as it heats up, all of us have a more and more easier, more available, more accessible time connecting, raising our consciousness, waking up, expanding. 2016, the temperature got to a certain point. It started to get close to that boiling point. So in 2016, the temperature of the climate of the Earth, in this analogy, the vibration got fast enough that a lot of people, mass amounts of people, relatively speaking, started waking up. So that's why 2016 had that effect. My strongest Mandela effect. What's up, Abraham? The thinker, because it's true. Only one can think of that. 3 changes, not just one. Yeah, the thinker, right? All over the place, man. Boom, boom. It's like, yeah, the thinker was a flip flop. I only had a couple flip flops, and that was one. Apollo 13 was not a flip flop for me. Flintstones was not a flip flop for me. The thinker definitely was. And on Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass was one for me as well. I've changed so much after I woke up. My full-blown asthma disappeared completely. No more asthma, it's gone. Yes. Now, Teresa, what I could tell you, at least my best understanding of why your asthma disappeared. And then you could say the healing energies, the high vibe energies, it heals the body, and that's true. But there's different layers of the onion. So at one layer of the onion, yes, your high vibe, positive energy healed you. What literally happened when you get into a deeper truth is your consciousness moved from one version of you, your physical body that had asthma, to a different version on a different place, and it's the same looking place. It's like Earth, everything's the same. You got your friends, you got your house, wherever you live, you got your like little cut on your hand. Same setup, but it's different. It's a different body. It doesn't have asthma. It has a different past. Your consciousness went into a version of you that already existed that has a different past, that didn't get asthma. Hey, thanks, Andon. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Andon Angel, thanks for the dono. That's pretty cool, man. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, Teresa, definitely. Yeah, it is interesting, right? Because like that's why the asthma's gone, because you're literally in a different body. Pay attention to your palm and the lines on your palm. They're going to change over time. If you really study your palm and get used to how your lines are, especially if you learn what the lines represent, and you get a picture, a painting of your story, and then wait a couple years, and your lines have changed. I know mine has. What's up, Santrice? Yep, the stream's been going for a little bit. I'm eventually going to get a different software or a different streaming package, set up something so that I can get a little bit more of a cooler visual presentation. I'll get a microphone too eventually. So slowly but surely I will upgrade, but I'm glad to be connected in this way. Why do only certain people see the Mandela effect? Done people? What do you mean, Teresa? Why do only some people see the Mandela effect? Why do only some people? Yeah. So there's a couple ways to look at it. All right. So there's two different ways to kind of approach that question. Why do some people see Mandela effect and some people do not? Okay. First you have the analogy with the boiling water. So not everyone's going to be triggered to wake up when the temperature hits. Now we're going to use Fahrenheit. That's the American way, right? Fahrenheit. Celsius is way more popular. Us here in America, United States, we're a little different, right? We're a little strange. We use Fahrenheit, but anyway, 212 degrees. So let's say we hit 185 degrees. We're getting real close to boiling, but it doesn't mean everyone's going to wake up. So the temperature is not hot enough for a lot of people to wake up yet. So that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at why some people are Mandela affected and some people are not has to do with timelines. So when you look at it with timelines, you're moving through different timelines. You do this naturally by existing in this physical reality. As we move through time, you move through timelines. That didn't sound too good. Let me reword that. When you move through space, you're moving through different timelines. So, yeah, so that's not coming out it's not coming out how I like, so it's not clear enough. But yeah, so the boiling water analogy is valid. So then what I'm trying to say is another angle is that some people have come from different timelines, like the Berenstain Bears. Other people have always been in a timeline where it was the Berenstain Bears. So we're always jumping different timelines. That's how we physically exist. Time cannot move forward unless we move to different timelines, because time is a very complex topic. But if you don't really think about it too much, it can seem very simplistic. So it can be simple, it can be complex. It just depends on how deep you're looking at what time is all about. But yeah, so people come from timelines where it was always Berenstain. So to them, there is no change. Be right back. All right. What's up, Kevin? My boss friend doesn't believe in it, but he remembers a lot of the memories. So yeah, so your boss, your friend, your boss Teresa, you just gotta find one that like hits him or her really hard. Just one, the one that hits the hardest, because then that's gonna be the game changer for them. There's gotta be one, one that's super meaningful because of anchor memories. Like the JFK is a huge one for a lot of us. Me too, huge one. But I'm basing it on what I remember in my brain seeing on videos of the coverage of the assassination. So that one, but that's not the one. I might mention it for interest, to get somebody else to like think about it, like Mandela effect. What do you remember? But that's strong. But it's not like the boom. No question about it. So find one that your boss, it hits them so personal. I had a friend, he wasn't Mandela affected, a former coworker. This was late 2015 when all shit was going on for me. I was like, oh my God, all these changes. So anyway, he was not affected. I was at my job. I was polling lots of people. I was a lot. It's funny too because I hear people's stories about trying to share Mandela effects with others, and nobody else seems to be like open to that. And for me, most of the people I come across have some connection. But yeah, so I'm at work talking about these different effects, and my friend he was not affected. JFK 6 in the car. Scarecrow had a gun. It was Berenstain. So he was not affected by any of it until we got to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, and he could not believe it. He couldn't believe that Mr. Rogers says it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. He couldn't believe it. He knows it was the neighborhood. That's what he experienced. So that was the only, that was one. So you might be able to find one that your boss is just like, holy shit. And they're either going to shut it down and just avoid it because it's like freaking them out and it's overwhelming, or they're going to start looking a little closer at what might have changed. 4 people in the car? Yeah, that's definitely what I remember seeing it. 4 people. Absolutely. That 6 is ridiculous. Can someone explain how the law of attraction and the law of the universe works? How do you switch a timeline? All right, so Snamorfuller. All right, so you don't switch timelines by effort. It just happens by existing. If you exist, if you're real, if you're alive, you're in a physical body, you're you. You're moving through timelines. Every time there's a new second, tick, tick, tick. Every time the clock ticks a second, you're in a different timeline. It's the design behind everything. It's so elaborate and so amazing and so precise and so profound. You don't notice it. You just don't notice it. But you're moving through timelines every second. Every second, you just do it. Universal laws. There's some universal laws, but I don't want to sound too restrictive and put things in a box. So, but there are certain universal truths, like duality. One of the universal laws of this universe we exist in is duality. Hot, cold, right, wrong, boy, girl, plus, minus, up, down. So yeah, we have a universe of duality. What other universal laws, deep truths that I'm aware of? Everything that could exist already exists. That's a universal law, and that's profound as all hell. Everything that can exist already exists. Nothing can be added to it. Nothing can be taken away from it. Anything that can exist already does. But when law of attraction, now there's a lot of information out there on law of attraction, and there's some good stuff. I mean, there's going to be different levels of clarity, and there's going to be some that maybe are a little bit confused or even misleading. But there is some good information, a lot of good information on law of attraction. But what I can tell you, if you want to micromanage law of attraction, the concept "fake it till you make it" is very, very valid. Fake it till you make it. So you're going to try and act, think, and feel like a different version of you that's in a different circumstance. So maybe you're struggling with money and you'd rather have a job or some sort of financial situation that's much better. So imagine a different you that had different choices in the past. And imagine you made those different choices and it worked out really well financially. You have a lot of financial abundance because of those choices you made. Imagine what that you that made those other choices is like right now. Because that's the thing with law of attraction. They're eternal now. Everything's happening right this moment. So with that in mind, the other version of you did make those choices, literally. There's other versions of you that are literally existing in different realities in the present moment. The one thing you all share is you're all in the present moment, because that's the only time there is right now. That's the only time there'll ever be, is right now. So these other versions of you think and feel like them. It's super important to feel the emotions. That's going to be the fuel that's going to shift you closer and closer to that other version of you, the proverbial best version of yourself. So if you want to have law of attraction work for you, feel the feelings of the version of you that you want to get to, that you would like to be. And reality will start to respond. Your internal thoughts and feelings change reality. Reality responds to what your internal state is. You don't go to a mirror and wait for the mirror to smile before you smile. You smile first, and then split second later, the mirror smiles back at you. Now, in human conscious brain wave speed, it looks like it happens instantaneously. But you smile, and then very short amount of time later, the mirror smiles back. So, fake it till you make it. Feel and think of the way that the other version of you, the one you prefer, thinks and feels. Make your best guess on what that version of you thinks and feels. The more time you spend thinking and feeling like that, synchronicities and coincidences are going to happen, and you're going to get to that. You're going to change things. You're going to change your fortune, change your fate, change your luck. All right, guys. All right. So we're coming up on about almost an hour. Okay. Good. So I'm probably going to be getting going in the next minute or two. But I'm glad that this works. I'm gonna work on the format, the layout, how it looks visually. And try to get a little more interesting looking. But it sounds like the live stream's working decent. The sound is okay. The image is okay. I'm just gonna play with the layout a little bit. Eventually get myself a decent microphone. But yeah, so I love you guys. I'm glad that you joined. That you guys came here to kind of hang out for a little bit today. And so eventually, maybe I'll kind of have a more of a specific schedule. But at this point, the way things are rolling, around this time, Friday, around this time, that's kind of my best availability for doing stuff like this. But we'll see. We'll see how the weekend goes. All right, guys. Be good. Be well. Do some random acts of kindness for a stranger. Look into the butterfly effect. Random acts of kindness to a stranger can literally make the world a better place. Literally, not just a concept. For real. All right. It was cool connecting with you guys. I'll be in touch, Teresa. I appreciate it, and thank you all for coming by today. And one more thing here. Just try to take it easy. Don't believe what the news says. Try to relax. Try to find peace and wellness. Andon, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. And you guys have an awesome rest of your day, or rest of your evening. And I love you all. And I miss you.